Thank you for joining this quick how-to screencast brought to you by Salesforce Support. In this video, we'll show you how to set up REST API for Service Cloud Voice. Creation of private key and self-signed digital certificate is a prerequisite which is covered on a different video. First, let's talk about OAuth. OAuth is required if you want to use the Invoke Salesforce REST API function Lambda function. For this demo, follow along in the developer's Service Cloud Voice implementation guide to set up OAuth in your Service Cloud Voice connected app. Let's see how to configure this. From Setup, enter Apps in the Quick Find box and select App Manager. Click Edit in the drop-down menu of your connected app. You can find this by searching your contact center name followed by Connected App for REST API. For example, Contact Center West Connected App for REST API OAuth. Click Enable OAuth Settings. For the callback URL, enter http:/localhost1717 OAuth redirect. Select Use Digital Signatures and upload your self-signed certificate file. For the selected OAuth scopes, ensure that the following scopes are selected. Manage user data via APIs and perform requests at any time. Save your settings and click Continue. Then click Manage. Here we will whitelist the user profile. Now let's move on to the AWS Console. Log in and select Lambda Functions. Select the Your Contact Center name, Invoke Salesforce REST API function, Lambda function. Then click Configuration section and scroll down to Environment Variables. Some of the variables are already configured for your instance, but you have to set the values for consumer param name, private key param name, and subject. To configure this, navigate to AWS System Manager and select Parameter Store. The first value we're going to set is the REST API consumer key. Find the values from the Salesforce REST API connected app, click on Manage Consumer Details to copy the consumer key. In the Lambda Parameter Store, verify the values are the same. If not, change the value. The second value is the param name private key. When you generate the certificate, you'll be able to find the value in server.key. Copy the value. Navigate back to AWS to validate the value. Make sure your text includes private key. The private key begins with begin RSA private key and ends with end RSA private key. Save the changes. The third value is the subject. Make certain the subject relates to system admin. To test that you have OAuth set up for the Invoke Salesforce REST API function, create a test event. Navigate to the Lambda function. Select the code. Configure a new test event. From the Service Cloud Voice implementation guide, copy the JSON information to use as your test event. Paste the entire query on one line, and save. To run the test event, click Test to generate the response. And that's it! You now know how to set up a REST API for Service Cloud Voice. For more information, go to help.salesforce.com or join us on the trail at trailblazer.salesforce.com. If you face any issues with setup or test, feel free to contact Salesforce Support for more help. Thanks for watching.